Well, hey, here I am and I'm back. And what this video is going to critique is replacing two manual seat tracks, just like on your garden tractor, all the way up forward and all the way back, or like in a boat seat, with something a lot better. You know, in life, there's Cessnas and there's 747s. And I'm unfortunately the latter of the two. And what that means to you and I is I need a power seat. I need more than all the way up and all the way back. I need up, down, tilt, and these seats are what I call eight-way seats, are something here to foot the bill. But what I soon realized is, geez, I have to just stop here, take a deep breath, go in the house and turn on Flight of the Phoenix, because with these G-body filler plate covers, plural, again, for both right and left, I had to totally reinvent the wheel, and you're going to see that here. Not only is the geometry and for the most part all wrong, I had to change that very symmetry, if you will, for lack of a better word. The mounting pegs were wrong, they were drilled wrong, they were positioned wrong, and I'm going to show you all that and more as we dive in deeper to the little video snippets, and then I'll do some talking points in this video. Okay, here we go. Now, when you go to your local yards, sometimes you can find these in color, but what I look for are the black. These are a manual seat cover. Power seat covers for the G's. You know, El Caminos, Grand Prix, Monte Carlos, Cutlass, Regal, they're all the same. But yeah, you look for these covers, and as you can see, that'll be a right side cover. And that's where that'll go. And get that on to your power seat track. This is a spare I got. Okay, and on the seat, obviously, the side plate cover comes off. And these are the covers that you buy. I get mine from G-Body Parts. I'm having some trouble, admittedly, trying to mount them. As you can see, right and left are different. And it's mostly with regard to the geometry, for lack of a better word, and the tilt back lever and how they mount, putting that plate on there. Takes a little bit of doing, and I'm not sure I'm up to that. I don't think I should have to re-engineer something when I buy it. So I'm gonna see how this is gonna come out, but I don't know. It's a little busy, good word. So yeah, gee, all this is turning into a lot of reality very fast. And I said that on another video I just made. That was a cop out from a train maker with in that example, part resolve. So look at, I mean, this isn't fun. Hell, it isn't even a fun 747. It's mutating into an A380 problem. That's damn big. All right, I get a little personality if I have to shave something off and do a little of this or do a little of that, but not, literally reinvent the plate, if you will. Why is the onus on me? I'd rather have some honesty, and before I ordered these, I prefaced that thought. Hey, remember me? No, who are you? Of course, nobody ever remembers, but I spoke with the owner anyway, and I made the remark, I got these before, they were useless, for which you said in response, well, yeah, we threw all those away. We're having them reworked. When we have resolve and finality, how about we contact you then? Would that be good? So I left it there. I'm a reasonable guy. I don't want, I can't stand wine asses, don't tolerate kiss ass. Anyway, I left it alone. So here I am, we'll round it off at an odd number, 5 years later. I remind them of what happened and then paid again for another set, having them only to reassure me that this was corrected and it's not going to happen again. You're going to love, they'll most certainly come, like watching that, what's his name, in the ballpark out in the cornfield. and everything is utopia, Wonderful Life of George Bailey. Not. And it didn't work out well at all, and it hasn't worked out. And again, I'll have little audio snippets of that occurring. But look at even these push pegs. What, a kindergartner stumped those down? You could take your thumb like a cigarette butt, and you're flipping it out of your hand, and they break right off. They're not right. They don't line up with anything. They go into air, and you have to mount all those pegs to the ironwork on the seat. basically where the tilt lever is to tilt the seat back on these bucket seats all the way back. There's a screw there. There's one midway. And because people are large, and I'm one of them, they have to be very stout, these plate covers. Enter the fronts. And that front peg is the most important one. And anyway, you've got to grind it down. You've got to re-epoxy all these mounting holes. You've got to shave that off to get that geometry that you need to make it hug the seat and embellish it tightly so it won't move and break off. And that's what I had to do. So I'm kind of waiting for this to start where I start talking again, and I've already done the audio. So you can see these sorts of problems with all these broken pegs amid all this epoxy and my relocating everything. And again, what's good's a screw if that mount, for example, the way it's stumped on there, and this thought glued on with a little glue gun that they only glued halfway around, how's it going to work if it goes into nothing anyway? So this is the one way in the back. See that spring? That's for the tilt back on the seat. And that's what we'll call probably screw number 1. And then number 2, again, is midway underneath where you won't see it. And then lastly, the one on front is just in front of the switch plate. So again, yeah, Flight of the Phoenix, that's a good analogy. And I shouldn't have to worry about that, So, yeah, I told him I'm a thorn here and I'm not going to go away like that old Patch Adams movie or whatever it is. And, come on, be honest with me. And, they weren't honest here. And I must have sent them a pictorial of maybe 50 different pictures. Well, we've sent it to the owner, and he's in a meeting that's been well over a month, and I haven't heard anything. So they left me out to dry. I paid twice. I don't feel that's right. And, I like these guys. That doesn't exactly leave me in a good standing. Seriously, does it always have to be all about the money? How about a little bit of honesty? That's all I'm saying there. Okay, I'm getting this right side track. I just got at the local yard here, which is exactly the same footprint, all ready to fit. I'll clean up that little bit of rust, but there's cover plates for that before I do the task. But yeah, see where everything lines up and it's all ready to mount. And these are the track that I like with the kind of one and done, the more reliable solenoids with no plastic drag link coupler, and you just port them right in, and again, one and done. So that's the right phrase. So lube them all up nice, and yeah, they work well. I meant to say motors back there. And this is an 87 G-Body Grand National. I just like power seats. Okay, let's see where this goes. And they sell you these front brackets for the front mount support. These are useless to tie into this hole here. Again, just totally useless, those brackets. So, right, obviously you pop the manual track off, and this is optional if you want to use these spacers and you want that much more height, or you're a smaller person, go for it. I don't use them though. And mount these to your track. Your track butts right up. In other words, this footprint here, these 4 corners, 2, 3, 4, the same footprint as the track and its print cover. Listen to me. And it's all kind of one and done. So let's do that and get it mounted. So yeah, it's all starting to sink in now. Nothing's going to line up. Now what am I going to do? So I just kind of stopped, and that's what you have to do with projects sometimes, don't you? Just stop and walk away here for a minute. But come on, look at where that's going to land, what they sent me. And that's indexed all the way in the back. That's just one little example. So I've got to drill the whole new brow in there, and the symmetry, if I did line up, isn't right anyway, or geometry, pick your word. I don't want to overcloud or complicate the thing and sound like some NASA professor. I'm not the sharpest pencil in the can, but anyway, you get the idea when you look. I'm a visual creature. I need to see it, and then I can work the problem from there. Probably, I should suppose a lot of us are that way. And look, I mean, that's what it's going to have to take here. And, again, why is the onus on me? How about some honesty? And look, on one hand, there's something, on the other, there's nothing. I need my kettle of fish here, so to speak. I want, my power seats, but I don't want a cobble job. I hate cobblery. But again, I accept it if it's reasoned. I can't think of a better way to say it. So I'm trying to find that middle ground here and get things working. But look at, I mean, the smooth, nothing stays. I've got to grind all this off and mix epoxy and redo all these mounting points and then file everything and get that shape going back and again, I shouldn't have to do that. They should have been honest with me and look at. I told them just grab one and put it out on a side of a junk bucket seat out in the backyard if you got one in the junkyard, and you're going to see right then and there. Look at it's ridiculous. It's so obvious. I don't know. So yeah, here's that screw number 1 by that tilt back lever. Look at that, broke right off. And, you haven't a chance. And the moment that you even move that, that has to lay on that flat plane, flat. And it was nowhere close. There's no way to win. So I had to redo all these different pegs and realign the holes and plug up holes. And, the part comes, you can pay extra for to have it painted, and they did. And, now I'm starting to hurt that. And, it's just, it's a lot going on here. But we're going to see, I did find and was able to work the problem and, take these pegs out and file them with a hand file and turn the wall wart radio on and listen to the news and try and walk away and have a little lunch. Anyway, and what do you do? You work that very problem, and I did, and I am. All right, so now we got our cables and track and all that in. And what I like to do here is put a wedge of cardboard and just fold it into a V for the wire harness, which will sit right there, and plug that switch footprint right in, and that's that. You're one and done. And of course, all the cables are greased to the bejesus, and all the screws and the mechanisms on the tracks and all the corners. You want to hit all those, or I do, and it'll glide like silk. Just SIP amperage, so they're pretty reliable seat track. So that's done. So yeah, now look, we're starting to see a little headway now, and get those stools, we'll call them, stumped properly. See, there's a stopper for the screw on that black barrel. And man, that's got to be in there like iron. But look at how far off that mount was that they gave me. So now again, good way to put it, working that problem, and I'm starting to, to find my resolve here and get the damn things going so I can have my dumb little power seats for my car and worry and chase bigger problems. So let's keep going. So right out of the gate, here is now the driver's side, and you can see that this peg that's glued on here is right atop of that hole. Right there. See it? It's a money shot. Now look at this peg. Look at how far it's off. I hope that's coming on my movie camera. And you can see that. See where the hole needs to be? And it's way over here, way this way of it to line up. It's wrong. It's, so here I am right out of the gate doing again Flight of the Phoenix. Look at how this one's cut. Come on, don't you care? You painted that? You send that to me like that? Come on. All right, and as we progress here, don't you? I mean, you pop the sill plate out. You'll have to pull this hush pad off. And with that, the ECM will pop out. And you can get that out of the way. And then we route there's a little slit here in the carpet from the factory. And then I'm going to install this ground on the floor pan as well. And I'll just lift the carpet, and this ground will be on this little side wall. There's a little gusset down there in the floor pan. And get that, oh gosh, it's probably a number 12 wire, that power wire over to the circuit breaker from here, and then over the drive tunnel over to where it goes. So let's do that next. Okay, this is a little hard, but let's get the ground in. See where that bridge is right there, right under the seat? And there's a hole waiting for you right there for the ground, for the power seat, which pops right again through that plug in the carpet. Kind of got that propped up a little bit so you can see it under there. Okay, so that's done. Let's keep going. See, we got our switch plate on the right seat. And that's all fit and wired. And I told you about that little sheath. Tighten down the track. I mean, it's pretty ABC stuff. And, you know, on a right or left side application, the green and the flesh colored wire, the light green and the flesh colored wire, say that fast 3 times, are reversed. Yep. That's what's going on. So, in the final stage here, you'll take that track I just prefaced off, cover in other words, and you just put it through see the footprint of the bolt there, and then you're going to put the bolt into the frame. And see where it goes. And that covers all the cables and so on alongside here. So let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, so here's our outcome. Big deal, a power seat. But anyway, for those who don't want a manual track, that's what you do with a changeover. So look at what's left. I mean, we'll port him with the power ground plug. We've changed the polarity because in this application it's a driver track and a passenger seat. So you need to, we don't want to go back, we want to go forward. We don't want to go forward, we don't want to go back. So what we have to do is reverse the 2 wires, so when we imply a forward command, we do in fact go forward and back. And then these are all the same: up, down, tilt, up, down, tilt. And then, I don't know, some call these 6 ways, I call them 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the whole works up, the whole works down is 8, 7, 8. So let's get it in. So after the, obviously after the install, let's put it back and let's cinch down the fasteners. You know, how hard is that? There they are waiting. We're ready for our covers now. Okay, and that puts finality to the power seat on the right side. Everything looks kosher with some armor all on it. While I watch Gene Hackman try to get the Shelley Winters and what's his name from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory off the USS Poseidon, the Poseidon Adventure. Brings us to the driver's side. So let's get this started over on this side now. Put a power track here. Okay, and then same as the passenger side, get our covers on so we don't have to look at that track, which is all the way up right now for our driver's side. And this, for whatever reason, I found a black switch to put on this one. I may put a black switch on the other side too. And then don't you know, bolt it up and you're done. So now let's get some wiring run in the car. If I'm not mistaken, I think this wiring is already there for the driver's side, because as this was a rather common option. So let's see if that's the case. Whoa, time for a little sandwich. What do you think? Boy, that was good too. Okay, and then over on the driver's side, we'll take the sill plate off and we'll find this wiring conduit wrapper. You can see that wire out the other end there. And there's an opening here, right where the seatbelt fasten wire is fed, which will then go out to this slit already in the carpet for our ground and for our power. So no, those wires were not there. So let's get that done. All right, so here would be the right completed
I meant
seat.
the left seat, stupid.
And that black, I think that was $22 for that power seat switch. Very readily available. Very good switch too. All over eBay. With our tilt and everything else all back and intact. So this is nice and rigid and will stand up to even my big ass hopping in it. So let's get it in. Okay, and that would then put finality, all the mats back in, and obviously whatever else to our project to get us power seats and our G-bodies. One little thing here, back in the dealership days, you know these clips, you've seen them for your dash panels. Well, what I used to do is I'd pull the little foot of one of those clips off. You got a million of them, don't you, in your drawer? Stake it on there to hold that stupid hush panel up in the center. I often wondered what would happen if I submitted that idea as a line change. You know how you get $10 or something, or back in the old days, if you thought of something to make things more expeditious. I don't know. It always worked for me, and yeah, I don't know what else to say. What do you like better, the chrome or the black? Leave me an opinion in the comments. On our G bodies, what, 81 to 87? Okay, as a kind of an epilogue here, I forgot, and now that I'm all done with this, to show you, the covers that cover the ironwork. See them there? At the base. And those covers go right on all four of those corners, and yeah, I ended up with chrome on both of them. But this is a lot of work here. I mean, I can't enough well articulate the having to plane these off here. And there's about 3/8 of an inch I had to cut off this rib so this lever can function with these plate covers. And yeah, the fit's nice. I like them. Let's go over and see the other side quick. So yeah, look at the tilt back. Look at all the leg room and so on that a big 6'4" guy like me can. It frees up a lot of room, in other words. And yeah, don't be calling me an A380. I'll take the 747. Besides, I haven't finished watching Side Adventure and Flight of the Phoenix. I have to do that yet. Anyway, see those cover plates, and that cleans everything up. Makes it look nice. So yeah, ouch. That'll wake them up. That's pretty much it. So you do have to re-engineer the plate. Would I do it again? Yeah. Isn't the second time always a lot easier? It is. But I'd hope for more amid some honesty. I wouldn't do that. I kind of got a cop out. And those of you that maybe follow me know that I don't like cop-out. All right. Listen, if I'd be lucky enough to have you subscribe, that would be so appreciated. And, come on. I'm not the know-it-all. What do you think? What would you have done? Do you like it? I think it merits what it is, in the end, does justify the means. It's a nice option to have in these old cars. Cash for clunkers just kicked the ass out from under all of us. A lot of people ask me, well, where do I find those power seat tracks? Mostly eBay Motors. They're still all over the place. And you can ask whatever you want, but getting's another thing. But after that, I don't have an answer to that. It's just that these were everywhere and it's being at the right place at the right time, I guess, is the long and short answer. But I hope you enjoy the video, and that's what's going on with power seat tracks. All right, take good care. Thanks again. I'm Tomsy.